almost quit your diet at the same time, it's not because you're destined to fail. It's because there is a predictable 5-stage pattern and most women quit at stage 3. I quit my diet more times than I can remember, and it was only when I learned what the 5 stages were that I was able to lose 40 pounds and keep it off for good. So in this video, I'm breaking down what the stages are, what they feel like, and what you can do to keep going, push through them all, and actually lose the damn weight. So here's stage 1, and it's called uninformed optimism. This is the honeymoon phase. You've just signed up for a new diet or a program, and you've decided that this Monday is the Monday that you lose the weight. And there's a reason why you feel this good, and it's because your brain has just released a bucket load of dopamine. This is the anticipation hormone, and it comes because you're expecting a big change. Research shows that we get a bigger hit of dopamine from anticipating a reward than we do from receiving that reward. So right now, you feel amazing, and it's probably also because you've spent a bit of money on this or put time into planning what you're going to do. And your brain is even more convinced that this is going to work. This is called the sunk cost fallacy. You think I've invested $200, so of course this is going to happen. Right now in this stage are all benefits and no costs. It's like booking a holiday to Greece. You're looking at the crystal clear waters, the amazing white buildings. You're not thinking about the upcoming credit card bill that you have, the 6 a.m. flights. You see the destination, but not the journey. That's uninformed optimism, and the feeling is lovely, but it doesn't last. And that's when stage 2 shows up. Informed pessimism. This one feels like betrayal. The excitement has completely gone. Weight loss is harder than you thought. It demands more of you than you expected. And the scale is moving slower than your husband when you ask him to unload the dishwasher. And at this point, the dopamine has dropped off too, and your brain is just doing what it needs to keep you safe. Think about it, your brain doesn't really care about your goal weight, it cares about your survival. And from a survival perspective, any change is risky and uncomfortable. So your brain starts sending messages like, this is too hard, maybe it's not working, maybe you're not cut out for this. This is like the bit of the holiday where you've landed in Greece, but the hotel isn't what you saw on booking.com. The photos online showed a pool with an amazing sea view, but now you are here and the sea view is nowhere to be seen. The pool is tiny, the sun lounges are all full, and the room smells a little bit damp. You start thinking, oh, maybe I should go home, at least home was comfortable. But going back to the weight loss front, you're not wrong that this is hard, you're just early. At this stage, you're not really seeing results yet, your clothes still fit the same, and the reflection looking back at you in the mirror hasn't changed either. It is working, but you just can't see the evidence for that yet, and so doubt creeps in. This is informed pessimism. You are informed about how hard this actually is. And if you thought that this stage was hard, then welcome to stage 3, the valley of despair. This is where most people quit. You've been at it for a while now, and this feels relentless. You're tired of planning, you're tired of saying no, you're tired of being that person on a bloody diet again. And you're hungry, not just physically, though you definitely are, but also mentally too. You're exhausted from the constant decision making, and research shows that we make around 200 decisions each day. And when you're dieting, every single one of those decisions requires willpower. And at this point, your willpower tank is empty. So your brain is just screaming to you, this isn't worth it, stop. Going back to Greece, you've now been there for 4 days. The pool is still too small, the room is still damp, and now you've got a sunburn that is agony. You start thinking, I should just go home and cut my losses. And that voice is what gets very loud on your weight loss journey. I should just quit altogether, that would be easier. Deep down you know that comfortable is what got you here, so you shouldn't go back. But comfortable is familiar, and your brain prefers familiar over what is going to make you better. This is the make or break moment, and from what I see, most women just stop here. They stop planning, they stop weighing in. If they have a coach, they quietly ghost them, and they just tell themselves, you know what, I'll start when the time is better. But at this stage, your body is adapting. Your metabolism is adjusting. Your habits are forming through sheer repetition. Studies show that it takes an average of 66 days for a habit to be second nature. But until you get there, it is hard and it will feel like it's not working even when it is. But my message for you is that if you quit in stage 3, you are pulling the plug before the evidence that it's working is really going to arrive. And that's why it's important to dig deep, to connect with your why, and also to understand your triggers. Because at this point, you will be seeking comfort. Maybe it's food, maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's just stopping bothering. And it's really hard to establish whether you are physically hungry, emotionally hungry, or just doing these things because it's what you always do. Well, if that resonates, then I've put together a completely free emotional eating flowchart. It's designed to help you stick with it and connect to what you actually need in your lowest moments. The 9 p.m. situations where you're not hungry, but the fridge is there and you just want food. So if that sounds like something you want, click the link in the description and download it for free. But going back to the stages, if you push through the valley of despair, we then come to stage 4. This is informed optimism. If you don't quit, and that's a big if, this is your tipping point. You've pushed through the valley and then something shifts. You've got evidence that this is actually working. The scale has finally moved, and not just a pound here and there, maybe you're 15, 20, 40 pounds down. Your clothes feel looser, people are noticing, and this is feeling easier. And your habits are starting to click. Planning no longer feels exhausting, this is just what you do. And you start understanding that your urges to overeat are just urges, not instructions. It's certainly not effortless, but it's far easier than it was. You still know that the weekends are tricky. You know there will be hard moments. You know that you will want to give up at times. But now you have proof that the hard work does pay off when you stick with it. So going back to the holiday in Greece, the hotel has now upgraded your room. It's bigger, there's a better view, and there's no damp. Your sunburn has turned into a tan and you look amazing. And you found the best restaurant in town, the one that the locals go to, and the food is incredible. Suddenly you're thinking, yeah, I'm so glad I didn't leave, this is so worth it. That's informed optimism. You know how hard this can be. You've been through the valley, you sure as hell know what difficult feels like, but you're optimistic because you're stacking evidence that you can do this. Those small wins day by day. And for the first time since you've started, you've got belief that you can do this. And that's what brings me to stage 5, success and fulfillment. The new behavior has just become your normal now. You're no longer someone who's trying to lose weight, you're just someone who looks after themselves. You're someone who follows through. You've become that woman. This is like the end of your holiday in Greece. You're on the plane home, you're looking through the photos, you're laughing at the hard times, you're feeling rested, and you're grateful that you pushed through. And when it comes to your weight loss, you are thanking the version of you on day 1 who started. You're not looking back at her embarrassed about the state she got herself in like you might have done previously, but you're giving a round of applause to the person in that before picture because she is you. She decided that you were worth the effort. So those are the 5 stages of the emotional cycle of change. And now you know that if it's feeling hard, you're not doing it wrong, you're just in the valley. So push through the hard moments, download the free emotional eating resource if you think it will help you. And please don't quit at stage 3 because you are far closer than you think.